Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well, and today I'm talking about Boohoo, and we're going to talk about Boohoo buying Debenhams and if this is a good deal for Boohoo and what benefits they will get out of buying Debenhams. Now, I knew this was kind of happening Sunday night. I got a few notifications, the rumours were starting to fly on the Discord group, and I was so far already editing into yesterday's video that unfortunately I had to put that one up, and I thought I'll just wait a bit and then finally put this one up. But I know a lot of you guys on the channel are big Boohoo fans, and some of you guys are Boohoo shareholders, and some of you might just be really interested in the deal. And if like the first thing is when you see it, you're like, Debenhams, really? But when we break it down, you can start to see some of the reasons why they might have bought it. So like I say, we'll take a look into this. Now, the funny thing is with Boohoo is like Boohoo has been a little bit quiet for the last few weeks. Boohoo's like the stock that always keeps you on your toes. Like they must be like in the boardroom and thinking, you know what, we've not been in the headlines for like 3 weeks. You know, we need to do something to get back in the headlines. What can we do? Debenhams. Why don't we go buy Debenhams? Like them guys must just sit there and think, you know what? Let's get back in them headlines. No one's talked about us for a while. It's crazy, you know. Boohoo is always the one getting some headlines in here. And yeah, we'll take a look at this one and see what's going on in general. But yesterday, the stock took it pretty positive. The stock was up about 5%, I believe it was. I don't have an exact screenshot because there was one idiot that forgot to take it last night before the stock opened up again today. That was me. So I always forget to take screenshots, and then I'm like, honestly, it was up 5% yesterday. So the investors did seem to take it quite a positive way, so that's a good thing. You can probably see why when we get into a bit more details why it was taken positive. But yeah, I mean, Debenhams a great brand. It's saved from never being around again, which is amazing from Boohoo's point of view. The funny thing is, when looking at it, the shorts or the Guardian were back out again, posting in a negative way, saying so many jobs were going to be lost. But them jobs were pretty much going to go anyway, and it's good that Boohoo have saved the brand name. Otherwise it would have never existed again, like Woolworths. And it's a shame like a brand like that's totally gone. But yeah, it was funny seeing like Guardian painting like Boohoo's fault for losing like so many jobs, but unfortunately them jobs had already been lost because of bad management from the previous company, and also the management from that company, which by the way, Philip Green, sir, with 1 billion net wealth, and he didn't bother to save the company. I think them job losses should have been more pointed to him, not actually Boohoo. But it was funny to see the Guardian still trying to paint this in a bit of a negative light and Boohoo's fault. But hey, them shorts have to get that stock down after them amazing gains, don't they? So if you could smash the like button, that'd be absolutely amazing, and we'll get stuck into this deal. So I'm going to put myself in the corner of the screen again, just hopefully that this makes it a little bit more entertaining than just showing screenshots, so I'm still somewhere on it, I guess. And I don't know if this is a good feature. Let me know if you want me to keep the little smaller camera with me on it. Just, better than just staring at the screen, I thought. And yeah, let me know if you still want to keep this, because it does add about an hour or two to the rendering and the exporting, so it has to be like, you guys have to say, yeah, it's really good. Otherwise, if it's not, I'll just get rid of it, because I save like 2 hours of my life. So yeah, you gotta let me know if you want me to keep this feature, because there's plenty of things I can do in them 2 hours. But hey, we'll get stuck into this Boohoo and Debenhams buyout. So the news came out, we got the rumours last night that they were potentially happening, or Sunday night I say, and then Monday we get the news that Boohoo is planning to buy Debenhams. Now, what Boohoo are going to do is they are going to totally close the shops down, and they're keeping the brand and the website, which from that point of view, that makes sense from Boohoo. It's an e-commerce play, brick and mortar. We've said on this channel so many times, brick and mortar stores are really, really struggling. The footfall's down, especially with what's going on right now. And it totally made a correct decision to not go and open its stores. Now, I'm going to say one little negative here of the deal that I would like to see. I always say positives and negatives of every case, even though Boohoo is my biggest position in the UK front, and I'm going to say this here. I was disappointed because I've always said if Boohoo do go buy Debenhams, what I'd like them to do is have just one major store in London. I think Debenhams have one on Oxford Street. Keep that one store open and have that as like a Boohoo centre, like in a big store that is the only Boohoo store there. You can host loads of events there, have maybe some celebrities come in. I just think it would have been really good, and I think people, if they went to London, they might be like, oh, let's go to the only Boohoo store in the world and have a look around there. And yeah, I think that I think that would have been a really good move for Boohoo to have this like one epic store in London where they can sell the products, especially on Oxford Street as well. Even if it was like a break-even kind of store, I just think it would have been very good for like publicity and everything like that. So I am a bit disappointed they didn't do that. If anyone from Boohoo is watching, please reconsider doing that. I think that would be a really good move to have one big major flagship store in London, even if it just puts you at break even. I just think the advertisement point of view and having the brand out there and everything like that would be amazing. So yeah, if anyone's from Boohoo, just please consider adding that one in. So yeah, that was the only, I totally agree with the shops closing down, but I would have liked them just to keep that one store. But hey. So yeah, I mean, Boohoo was also linked to buying Topman or Topshop as well. I think that would have been a little bit confusing because if you were to sell like the Topman range, I think having Boohoo Man and Topman, I don't know if that's just a little bit too of a clash really. But I think out of them all, I think Debenhams was the better buy for Boohoo. So I'm happy that it did go down that way. So we'll dig into some of the information here. I read this at 7 a.m. a day ago, so I'm going to try and remember all the key points from here off the top of my head. I should really be, normally I write all this down, but we're just going for it today. So the acquisition to develop online marketplace, and we see here Boohoo announces to buy the rights from administrators for 55 million plus VAT. So let's talk about the price to start with. Is this a good deal for Boohoo? Well, when we look at Boohoo's balance sheet, like they've got so much money now on the balance sheet. It's a very healthy, profitable business. I think last time, off the top of my head, and I probably show this somewhere on the screen, Boohoo had somewhere like 380 million, I believe, in cash, somewhere around there. And I think like in the last quarter, Boohoo had made like 40 million profit, sorry, never said 400, 40 million profit. So realistically, Boohoo has nearly paid 6 months profit to get this company. And, you know, amazing as it is, Boohoo having all that cash on the balance sheet and it just makes it stronger and stronger, it doesn't really need it. You know, it doesn't pay a dividend. It has no debt on the balance sheet. So that cash is just going to build and build. So if it has an opportunity here to make a great purchase, then I do not blame it. And let's talk about the purchase price. I mean, 55 million plus VAT, that's pretty good. Now, I don't think it is here. It will be later down, but I will mention it here. So I think last time the online sales of Debenhams was 400 million. So if they've purchased this company for 55 million, then that is really good purchasing, because you think about that sort of valuation, that's pretty good. It does go on late, say it won't be profitable just yet, but probably down the line. But to buy them assets for them sort of price for something that was doing 400 million in online sales is very good purchase in my opinion at that sort of price. I think that realistically they have bought this for undervalued price, but it's at the administrators. So the administrators are probably going to take at least some sort of form of money to try sell it. So yeah, it seems like they've really got this at a great price. I think if they had purchased this for maybe 100 million, I would say that's probably about fair price for it. So that was, really undervalued. And I think, if they were to buy this for about 150 million, I would have said they probably overpaid for it. So yeah, I mean, they've definitely got this probably half the value of what it should have been, really. So it seems like they've got it at a really good price. So yeah, pretty good from that point of view. So Debenhams is a long range standing and leading of UK fashion, which Boohoo's already in. We've seen them do Oasis and Warehouse. That'd be great for them to put that in there. And beauty retailer with high brand awareness, and that's another thing. High brand. That's another great stepping stone for them to get to a bit more of a higher price range than what normal Boohoo prices are. An established online platform with approximately 300 million UK website views per annum. This makes it a top 10 retail website in the UK by traffic. Now that blew my mind. I actually did not realise that Debenhams was in the top 10 retail website by UK traffic. That was kind of crazy for me. I didn't really realise that, which I think that says it's a pretty decent platform, and it's crazy that Debenhams was still with that online kind of viewership. It still wasn't be able to turn a profit. kind of says to me, them stores must have been really dragging it down. The transaction represents a fantastic opportunity to grow the group's target addressable market. So when we think of Debenhams, like, this is obviously, Boohoo's definitely something that, what we'll say, like 15 to 25 age category, I guess we'll say that. And then you'd say Debenhams is probably, more 40 to 40 plus age bracket, I guess. So that definitely that puts Boohoo into a total different audience now, and I think that's obviously some of the great things with Oasis and Warehouse, and I guess them brands as now as well can get linked up to probably Debenhams, which will probably be a great platform for it as well. So that's pretty good from there. There was a little quote from here by John Lato, but you can read it here, and there was also a comment here from Mahmood here, which you can have a look into. But yeah, pretty good from that point of view. So there's some details here about the deal. So it says here, Debenhams is expected to relaunch on the group's platform in Q1 financial year 2022 to allow for the winding down. From there, we can see here the transaction will be financed through the group's existing cash balance, which stood at 386 million. I wasn't too bad, I said 380, so we were pretty close. The group will only be acquiring the brands associated with the property rights, which that's fine. We can see here in Debenhams' most recent financial year to the 31st of August 2020, the online business generated unaudited online net revenues of approximately 400 million via the following operating models. So, that's crazy, isn't it? Like 400 million in revenue is a crazy amount. And you think if you add that on top of what Boohoo revenue is going to put in normally, and with the growth, the next kind of year now, if they can get 400 million again in revenues and put that on top of Boohoo, there's going to be such a jump in the revenues next year, which is crazy. To pick that up for like 55 million, I think that's really, really good. I think that was a really good purchase price. So there's got here marketplace, 25% of the online revenue, fashion and homewares. So we've got beauty, approximately 20% of the online revenue. Traditionally wholesale model. So this is great. I think, like, obviously Boohoo expanding past like the fast fashion kind of industry. I think beauty is a very good industry for Boohoo to move into. So that is pretty good from that point of view. Own brand fashion here and wholesale inventory, including fashion, sport and homeware. And we can see here which will not continue to operate under the group's ownership. The transaction is not expected to contribute to the group's revenue over the remaining 5 weeks of the current financial year and is expected to incur modest startup losses. The group will provide a further update in its full year results in early May 2021. So yeah, I think at the moment, the information we've got, it looks pretty interesting. I think the price was fantastic. I think the move into beauty is probably a great next step for Boohoo to move into. And yeah, I'll be interested in May when we probably get a bit further update on the plans and everything there. Obviously, we'll get there'll be probably a big, massive segment in the update in May where we'll get a lot more details about it, and I'm sure they'll have quite a few questions about that. But yeah, there's an audio webcast. I haven't got through to listening to that just yet, but I probably will do a little bit later. But yeah, overall, pretty happy with it all. I'm sure some of you guys are as well. So I thought I'd update that one. Obviously, Boohoo, biggest position. I'm kind of known for that one as Boohoo stock in a way. So hope you guys enjoyed it anyway. Let me know what you think about the deal. Personally, I think this is, for the price they've paid and the element of moving into the beauty area as well, and also acquiring a few more brands. And when you look at the actual sales that Debenhams Online has to offer, I think it's a pretty good move. I'm pretty happy with it. I definitely preferred this brand over Topshop for sure. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this overall. And let me know what you guys what you want to do, because on the face of it, I think it was like, I'm not sure on that one. And yeah, last night there's a poll on Instagram. So if you do want, there's very big shout out to Luke as well. Luke Fergie set it all up. He's set up an official JKR Investing Instagram now. I've not got a link in the description. You'll have to just go on Instagram and search it for now. But he's set up a proper page, and there was a poll last night. And I think it was like a 50-50 or a 60-40. It was very close. And I think at first everyone was like, Debenhams, High Street, you know, a bit nervous on that one. But then I think everyone's kind of gone, you know what, it's actually not too bad when they look into the details. So overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I think for the money they've paid up, that doesn't really harm Boohoo at all for balance sheet or debt, anything. I think it's worth a punt to carry on expanding the business. So I'm happy with it. You guys let me know what you think as well. I'm always interested to hear you guys' opinion. I know a lot of you guys are 50-50 on it, but now, you know, a bit more details, you might be like, yeah, it's not too bad actually. So yeah, let me know. Smash the like button, subscribe, join Patreon. Link is in the description. If you want to start buying Boohoo shares, there's a link to a free trade account, a Trading 2 and 2 account. Join through there, you get a free share as well if you want to buy some Boohoo shares. And I'll see you in the next video.